Welcome to this quick video demo on Agentspace. So Agentspace is a Google Cloud SaaS offering where we are addressing employee productivity needs. So we're trying to bring the magic of Gen AI into all aspects of employee productivity. So what issue are we trying to resolve? When we look across companies, we see a really disparate landscape. We have a lot of different data sources. We have a lot of different capabilities that are all distributed, a lot of siloed agents, a lot of issues that are sort of addressed within one of these data sources, but not bringing all of them together. So with those issues, we get siloed search and agent experiences. So you are able to have some quality of search and some agent experiences, but it is siloed within that particular environment and not bringing data across. We have the issue of people building agents that pull data, but that data is not access having the correct access rights. So there's a possibility of, an engineer at the lowest level and the CEO should not see the same documentation. So as we get to that point of having the right ACLs, access rights, and so on, so that you only see the data and only see the generated summaries of data that you should have access to. And of course, we're saving people wasting time both on the search and getting the answers they need, but also on each individual group, bringing together all of or developing their own AI and agentic solutions. So the solution for that is Google Agentspace. And here we're unlocking all of the capabilities within the enterprise in a single platform. So let me jump into a quick demo because seeing is really believing with this. So let me quickly switch screens here. And here you start to see the capabilities of the agent space. So this is our agent space. We have a company here, Neuravibe AI. You see quickly that we have multiple data connectors here, Google Drive, Slack, Jira, Gmail, SharePoint. We also have Salesforce and others that are under the hood here, and of course, Gmail, Calendar, and so on. So let's start by asking about one of our accounts. So we're going to simply say, tell me about Future Gamers. So Future Gamers is one of our accounts. Neurvibe, of course, is an AI company that does annotation services. So let's see what it has to say about Future Gamers. So what you're seeing here is data being pulled from all of the different sources where we have input on Future Gamers. So let's take a look here. This is from our Salesforce. Again, Salesforce, and we should see other share. This is from Slack, as you see here, and we'll see some SharePoint in here as well. So you see Salesforce, it's the Future Gamers Corporation. So we have, of course, the company listing here. We're pulling all the relevant information, and we're getting Slack information and other Salesforce relevant information here as well. So again, simple query, but pulling that information from all of the disparate sources, getting the opportunity, getting the latest updates. We see the Slack updates. There may even be email updates in here, and we get the opportunities across Salesforce. So let's see if they're a good prospect for our latest data annotation services. So obviously this is a follow-up question. We can just say they, we don't need to say future gamers. And let's see what it brings us here. So again, you see all of the SharePoint data on our latest products. So our market research, our research and design documents, the future trends we're seeing, news, and so on. Again, you see Slack and other information kind of coming in across. And here we see they are promising, they're an active client, they have the right industry size, they have the specific needs, and they touch on our Neurvibe strengths. Now, I'll talk about Notebook LM here in a moment, which is another capability built right into Agentspace. It sort of went viral a few months ago, so some of you might be aware of that. But the integration here is super seamless. So as we see here, as the documents appear, we can select to add that to one of our Notebook LM notebooks. So let's add it to our pitch discussion here. And again, we can do the same for our market research. We'll add that here as well, and we can take a look at that documentation later. So now I'm going to create some marketing information. And what you're seeing here is the first two capabilities you've seen is really the combination of search and summarization. So on the right-hand side, you're getting kind of the standard search, but you're getting the summarization of all of this data into a kind of a really neat summary based on all of these disparate sources. So now let's go for generation. So here we're generating new content. Oh, live demo. Always, always exciting. So we're generating a marketing one pager that talks about NeuroVibe's offerings. So here we want to again collect the information on what's new from NeuroVibe, what are the latest products and services, why choose it. So in other words, the differentiators, and sort of giving a bit of a pitch on what that would look like. Again, a call to action here at the end, standard from a marketing perspective. And again, you see with all of the right documentation and references here in the page. So again, generating content on the fly, connected to all of your data, and again, this is me as a user in here with the access rights that I'm having. So I'm not seeing anything from any of these other document sources that is not part of our of my access rights. So now let me write an email to myself. So I'm going to send an email to myself with the benefits here. And again, you see it drafts the email. Um, so we see that it's kind of giving us the benefits and so on. And right from Agentspace, we can send that email from there immediately. Similarly, we can set up a meeting invite, and you'll see the same capabilities. Again, we can send that directly from Agentspace. So again, allowing you to have actions that are available within Agentspace on the various tools that we have. So there's actions also going into Jira and SharePoint and Salesforce. So these are sort of the capabilities to going back again to search, to summarize, to generate new content, and also to take actions on the different connectors and capabilities that you have in place. Now let's look at one of the agents that we have that's available here. So right now we have a research agent. So I'm going to take a quick research report. So I'm going to ask it to create a report analyzing Apple's products. So we're taking their unique selling points, and I'm going to start this going here just for the purpose of time. So we're going to take Apple's products, unique selling points, competition, ambition from its earnings reports. So that's research that we need to do. I don't have any information stored on my local drive here related to Apple, and then comment if they're a good fit for NeuroVibe. So obviously NeuroVibe is data that I have. NeuroVibe is not a real company, so that's not something we're going to find on Google search. So what do we do here as part of the research assistant? So we build a research plan. And again, this seems to make sense based on the criteria I've given it. I did have an option here to edit this, so I could tweak what the sort of research plan is. I chose to start it just because it takes a couple of minutes to run. So we're getting this summary, and then it starts to dig in and do the research. So the research details, typically it does about 20 of these. And let's take a look at what it's doing here under the hood. So what's Apple's current mission? And you'll see on a lot of these, I don't have enough information to answer this question. So what that means is it's looking first at your internal data sources. So as I mentioned, I don't have any Apple information in my drives that are connected here. So then it goes to the web. So it's using Google search, which of course is fully integrated here, and then bringing back this information from the web searches and bringing that into my research here. Versus if you see from when I'm looking for NeuroVibe's main products and services, here you'll see that again it's SharePoint. SharePoint, these are the internal data sources getting the information. So it's doing an amazing combination of internal and external data. So now we've completed our research and we're generating the final report. So we see that we have our research document with all of the summarization of the research it's done into a pretty nifty summary that's a few pages long. And of course, we're going to get a audio summary here at the end. So, and so on, getting that nice summary that those of you familiar with Notebook LM will be familiar with. And this is sort of the magic button here. So this allows you to, when I turn this off and you see this black, then I'm only using my internal data sources and all of those connectors that you saw earlier. But when I turn this on, I'm able to have the combination that you saw here as part of this research agent that brings together my internal data with external data sources. So you can imagine there's tons of capabilities here where you can leverage this with financial analysis across different companies and so on. So now let's take a look as we wrap up here into Notebook LM. So as you see, Notebook LM fully integrated into Agentspace. We're looking, I have a couple of notebooks here that I have prepared. You see that I have a number of documents that are already in place. It immediately gives me a summarization, and gives me some suggested questions. And again, this is the beauty of this type of tool where it's sort of based on the information that you have put together, it's really figuring out what question should you ask, not just what question would be good for you to, not just answering the question that you do ask. So, what's the overarching challenges does New Revive face? Again, super well structured summary with all of the references to the various documents. You see it pulls you right into where in the source material I got that documentation from. So I just put on our again another podcast. This is created just from that source material that we were looking for here. So again, this is bringing together two people summarizing all of the information that you're looking for into a single source. So an extremely useful capability built into Agentspace via Notebook LM Enterprise, which is part of our Agentspace offering. So on that note, I'm going to wrap the session. Thank you for your attention and looking forward to hearing more from you as you get customer opportunities.